Greetings. My name is Reverend Dr. John E. Jackson Sr., and I'm the senior pastor of the Trinity United Church of Christ in the great city of Gary, Indiana, where we are not just another church, but we are culturally conscious, Christ-centered church that's committed to the community. We are unashamedly Black and unapologetically Christian. It's Friday. I want to offer a Friday fortification. And in this Friday fortification, I want to do some assessment. Think about where we are now. We are still in a crisis, the crisis of COVID-19 coronavirus. The world is still gripped by it. We've got a lot of other things, a lot of other pandemics going on, but this is the one that has pressed us to the wall in many ways, so that even the others we see more clearly. We see more clearly the effects of inequality and racism in this society because COVID-19 has caused us to be a captured audience as we watch the brutal murder of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Mr. Brooks in Atlanta. A captive audience as we see and experience the inequalities in the healthcare system, which causes other people that are Black and brown and poor to be adversely affected, even though the virus it's no respecter of persons. And so COVID-19 has caused us to do some assessing in the arrogance, the ego, the self-importance that we carry as a nation in particular, as a society. There is, even unconsciously, there's a sense of arrogance, ego, self-importance, privilege that we carry. Let me show you how that looks to me. We have been forced to be cautious and concerned about what we touch and how we touch. In other words, we have to meticulously wash our hands because for the cleanliness that we seek, to make sure that we're not carrying germs and putting them on ourselves and in ourselves. We should have always been concerned about what we touch and how we touch it and the meticulous washing of hands because the germs have always been there. It's nothing new. But there's a sense of arrogance, a sense of ego, a sense of self-importance that has caused us to be oblivious, to think that we are, indestructible in some ways. Think about it. We have been forced to consider the personal space of other people. That wearing masks is being considerate of the personal space of other people. We call it social distancing. We should have always been concerned about the personal space of other people. But in our arrogance, and sense of self-importance, we oftentimes invaded other people's spaces and expected them to just go along with it because we can do whatever we wanted to do because we're oblivious that there's a sense of personal space that everybody needs to have. And wearing masks is just not protecting you, it's protecting other people. Then think about this. We have been challenged to assess the safety and sanctity of being still. We call it sheltering in place. Yeah, being still. Because we have equated being busy with being important, valuable, and having meaning. And being still, we have equated that with laziness. And we have never been so wrong. If we have been faithful in the being still, and it's been difficult because in the fabric of the society, and that I need to say that is for the benefit of people who are making money off of us, for us to think that busyness equates to value and meaning. And we have been oblivious to it. But it helps us see now that actually being still can help us in our endeavors be more intelligent, strategic, smart, and how we invest our energy. So these are some very important lessons that we are learning, which means, y'all, We can't go back to the old normal, and I call it the abnormal normal that we've gotten used to. We can't we can't be casualties any longer, to quote Talib Kweli. We can't be casualties any longer of an abnormal normal. We got to create a new normal where we value ourselves enough to respect the fact that living on this planet, there are bioorganisms that we have to live with and we have to respect them. We have to create a new normal where we are considerate and respecting of other people's personal space and how our very being can impact somebody else adversely. And we have to really get deep in our spiritual walk to know the value of being still so that we can assess who we are and why we are before we begin to engage with other people. These are valuable lessons that we have to use to create a new normal. Now, there are many people right now, you see them on the news media, and in their arrogance, their ego, their sense of self-importance, and their inability to be concerned about other people, they want to go back to an old normal. And the old normal was oppressive, and we're seeing that. But they want to go back to an old normal because it gives them comfort, because they are privileged. And we can't go back. We can't allow that virus to continue to infect us. Let us learn the lessons that this crisis is trying to teach us. I've shared before that the Chinese write in characters, and the character for crisis on the flip side means opportunity. We have an opportunity to create a new normal, a community where we value ourselves enough to make sure that we are respecting the bioorganisms that we have to live with on this planet. In other words, we're being concerned about the ecosystem, that we value other people enough to not just willy-nilly invade somebody's personal space without their permission, and that we value things spiritual enough that we'll be still so that we can assess and reassess who we are and why we are. I hope we can create this new normal because it'll be healing, it'll be healthy, and it'll be something extremely rewarding for all of us on this planet. That's my Friday fortification. I pray it helps us think. I pray it helps us assess. I pray it helps in some way. God bless you. God keep you. And as always, I'm so glad the tomb was empty.